There's a point of order.
Yes, Speaker. I think ukansela ukhuzwayo angamislead abantu uma ethi iANC ibiqinisekisa ukuthi service delivery yayisa kubantu base 101 ngoba Speaker.
Councillor, your point of order is overruled because you know that you're out of order.
Ukhulumile
Order,
yaba
order.
Speaker.
Kuzwayo, proceed.
Speaker.
Order,
No,
Speaker.
no, no. Please, please stop what you're doing.
sekumasipala
Kuzwayo, Kuzwayo, proceed.
Not the ANC.
Order, Speaker.
Point of order, Madala.
Yes, thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, I think the whips of parties must assist us here. It's true that you can raise point of orders until the cows come back home. But it's clear that the point of orders that are being raised are not point of orders. They don't like the debate that Councillor Kuzwayo is advancing. And that's not how you use a point of order. It's an abuse. We can also do it, but it does not take any of us forward. So please, Speaker, can we have order here? Can we allow parties to debate? You'll say something you don't like. We'll allow you to finish, and then we'll come in and debunk what you are saying.
Thank you. Councillor Kuzwayo.
Yeah, no, siyabonga Speaker. Bengicacisa nje ukuthi le misstatement yenzakalile lana ukuthi kusukela abantu base 101 thwebambe bovalu N2 lapha. Ayilona iqiniso lonto leyo. Speaker, sengivala ke siyafisa ukuthi sibonge umsebenzi owenziwe yioffice lakho lisebenzisana no COGTA because we understand ukuthi this was a very delicate matter ebengafuna ukuthi uyizele ngokuxhamazana noma ngokubhamazela ngoba egcineni bizogcina isifaka sonke la enkingeni. But we are finally happy ukuthi sekufike la imatter esizolungiseka khona ngendlela efanelekile, and as the ANC we completely support the report that you presented. Although Speaker ushiyile ucongratulator ungema ukuthi wahlula ubhili kwi Congress yabo.
Thank you, Councillor Kuzwayo. Thank you, councillors, for all your comments, for all your questions and submissions. I will then now allow the head legal,
Ngakutshela
Mr.
Bheki.
Mhlongo, to provide those 3 legal opinions that have been requested by council and comment on other matters raised. Over to you, Jomane. Let's listen.
Thank you, Speaker. The legal opinion was requested by Councillor Ntuli on the 3 issues. The first issue that I want to point out is that the Speaker's power do not originate from the Systems Act, they originate from the Structures Act. So we will focus on what is contained in the Structures Act. Secondly, there is this tendency at times when the political matters are phrased as legal matters, and instead of taking firm political stances, a legal opinion is sought. You see, Councillor Ntuli wanted an opinion on whether the Speaker complied with the law or not. The second opinion that he wants is what steps should be taken against the Speaker. So already he knows that the Speaker did not comply. He has formed that opinion, and he also wants steps, but he wants me to be the one who pronounces on whether the Speaker complied or not. Yet I have to tell him what steps need to be taken going forward. But be that as it may, there are provisions. Before I get to the provisions, Councillor Ntuli rose on a point of order and reminded other councillors that he confined himself to the contents of the report when he was addressing a council, and encouraged other councillors to follow suit. From what I heard, no, not Councillor Ntuli on my left, not on my right. I lo netawula. You see, the substance before the council is what steps have been taken against Councillor Ungiba. And what is before the council is whether the report of the council, of the speaker, which leads to what was made reference to, which is Rule 5, item 5, that says it's the council that determines ukuthi what happens with the councillor which in terms of sanctions for not attending our meetings. Now, Speaker has brought the report here for the decision of council because he has made a finding ukuthi uCouncillor Ungiba is in breach. Now, the council is required to take a decision on the appropriate, if you accept the report, you have to take a decision on the appropriate sanction. And he has recommended the sanction to be taken. Now, instead of addressing that, there is an attack on the speaker. If there is an attack on the speaker, if the speaker is in breach of his responsibilities, there are processes that need to be followed to deal with the speaker. In fact, section, maybe calling your opinion.
I withdraw, Speaker. My apologies. I was trying to assist my colleague.
Let's do this. Councillor Ntuli. Order, Councillor Zondi. Councillor Ntuli. You requested an opinion. We are giving an opinion. You are being destructive. You are being destructive. At the same time, when I'm trying to guide the meeting, you are the first person to blame the speaker. You requested this platform I'm giving you. Please, Mpemba, behave. Thank you. Giovanni?
Thank you. If the speaker fails in his functions, the power resides with this council to take steps. If you look at section 39 of the Structures Act, it talks about the vacation of office by the speaker. It says the speaker of the council vacates the office during the term if that person A resigns, B is removed, or C ceases to be a councillor. So if the council feels ukuthi he is not fit to be a councillor, you've got section 39B available ukuthi nim remove as a speaker. Thirdly, on the issue of recovery yeimali that kept on raising its head, that is covered by the MFMA. When there is expenditure that can be regarded as fruitless and wasteful, there is a process that needs to be followed for that expenditure to be recovered. It's not something that can be discussed here at council. It's something that goes through certain committees. It may involve ethics committee because there are councillors involved. It may involve the MPEC since there are public funds involved. So the point I'm making by all of this is that if there are matters of concern about the speaker, there are processes to deal with that. But what is before you is the report of the speaker for the council's decision on the fate of Councillor Ungiba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jomane. Let me welcome all the questions, comments. I also welcome constructive criticism directed to me as a Speaker of Council. I also want to mention that councillors, as a Speaker of Council, have a bigger responsibility to make sure that all the decisions that I take should not open any gap to be challenged in a court of law. in handling the matter of Mr. Ngiba, I have to be careful so that I don't come in this council with a wrong recommendation, wrong decisions. Then council will also blame me that I put council on disrepute for handling matters clumsily. I'm confident sitting in front of you that the manner I've handled Councillor Ngiba's matter was professional, was legal. I've complied with all the provisions in our rules of order and in our relevant legislation. Again, councillors, if I took your approach of assuming that Councillor Ngiba, because he has not attended meetings, then automatically I remove him as a council member or I suspend his allowance. In terms of the law rules, there's no provisions that empowers the speaker to take such a decision. Being blamed of continuing to pay him is unfair to the speaker because the same council that developed, approved the rules, they've never given the speaker such powers. I can't apply powers that do not exist, powers that I don't have. But I'm also disappointed in you that now it looks as if there are times where you choose to respect your rules, to respect your decisions, and shift the blame to the speaker. Fortunately, I understand my job. I'm dealing with politicians. Sometimes politicians do raise unnecessary issues for their own reasons. But I welcome all your comments. I welcome all your criticism. Some of them, most of them, they are fair. They build me as a speaker to continue to grow in my responsibility and continue to do better. And I commit myself to improve where there are limitations and weaknesses and to do better. But I can't prevent any councillor who feels that I don't deserve to be here, I have to be removed. A fair process has to be started by whoever who feels like that. I won't stand in a way. I will accept if the decision is a majority of council. I will definitely move from this seat. Thank you very much, councillors. I assume that my recommendation has been accepted. Thank you very much. Let's continue with our business.
Sorry, Speaker.
Councillor Kuzwayo.
No, ngiyaxolisa Speaker ukuphazamisa. Kunenye report buyenze previously which was for approval of ukuthi councillor uDlamini uyojoina iMPAC. We take
Yes.
for consideration.
Yes.
We approve that report, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuzwayo. There's two councillors. Let's
Speaker.
proceed with our
Speaker,
with our agenda. Yes, who's that?
Speaker, Nang Speaker.
Who said is that? Yes, councillor.
Speaker, bengiphakama nje nokuncoma isenzo sabafowethu lapha ngaphesheya. Sokuthi ngaso sonke isikhathi mabebona into engekho yinhle bayikhulume bayiveze obala bangafihli lutho. Sengixakwa ke ukuthi umsindo wokuthula kwabo ngekhansela eliphazamisa umhlangano womphakathi ligibela phezulu kwamatafula abasho lutho
councillor.
ngakho.
You're out of order. Let's proceed. Councillors, city manager, can I have the leave of absence? Order.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby wish to read the leave of absence.
City Manager, just a minute. Councillors, the supplementary agenda has arrived. But what will happen once City Manager have done with the leave of absence, I will allow my team to distribute copies to all of you once we are done with the leave of absence. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby wish to read the leave of absence for the following councillors. Councillor S.R. Moodley, indisposed, from the 25th of the 5th to the 12th of the 6th. Councillor K.P.M. Cele, not available from the 27th of the 5th to the 2nd of the 6th due to personal commitments. Councillor T.M. Tetwa, not available from the 30th of the 5th to the 31st of the 5th, not available due to personal commitments. Councillor A.D. Beasley, not available today, personal commitments. Inkosi Esimlaba, not available today due to personal commitments. Inkosi J.B. Shangase, not available today due to personal commitments. Inkosi E.B. Shozi, not available today due to personal commitments. Councillor Z.N. Tuli to join the meeting at 2 p.m. due to personal commitments. Councillor N.P.C.B.C. not available today, indisposed. Councillor E.L. Singh, not available today, indisposed. Councillor A.D. Sneyman, not available today, indisposed. Councillor N.N. Munin will join the meeting late. Councillor K.S.C.B.C. not available today due to personal commitments. Okay, so it says Councillor S.C.B.C. will leave early. Councillor M. Ismail will leave early, will arrive late due to personal commitments. Councillor J. Jakwa, not available today because of personal commitments. Councillor Z. Mngwango, not available today because of personal commitments. Councillor T. Mia, indisposed. Councillor K. Mhlaba, request to leave at 7:30. Councillor T. Mohammed, not available today, indisposed. Councillor A. Shahid, request to leave at 3 p.m. Due to personal commitments. Councillor T. Mvubu, request to leave at 1. Councillor M.H. Khan, request to leave at 3 p.m. Thank you, Speaker.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Babu Mpele. Councillors, are all these leave of absence accepted?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Secretariat, can you quickly distribute the supplementary agenda before we proceed so that we avoid disruption? Let's just give you a few minutes to quickly do that. Thank you. While councillors, you are receiving the documents, let me explain what's going to happen. We are going to quickly move to the supplementary agenda once we have all received copies. Then the city manager will read a notice convening the special council meeting in terms of our rules to deal with the agenda, with the supplementary agenda, which is budget. Then the budget will be tabled. After being tabled, then the mayor will present the budget. After that, I will take hands of those councillors who want to engage the budget after it has been presented. Then, once we are done with the approval of the budget, we'll then come back and deal with the agenda in our ordinary agenda for council meeting. That's how councillors are going to manage our business from now on. Then later in the afternoon, we'll deal with the in-committee matters. Now, that's how we are going to proceed. Let's allow the team to distribute the agenda. Thank you. Again, councillors, on this item, I will just check hands. There's no speakers list on this item. I will just note hands of those councillors who want to contribute. There's no speakers list for this item.
For which item is that, Speaker? For which item is that?
We have all the copies now. Let's.
Which item is that?
I'm referring to the agenda that is being distributed now. The supplementary agenda on budget is an item I'm referring to where I'm saying there's no speakers list. Whoever who want to contribute on the agenda distributed now will be allowed
Order, Mr. Speaker.
to address it. Councillor Reddy.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, present the report first to council. I think it should be the mayor that should present the report and thereafter get your speakers. I see councillors are asking what item is this, which one we should speak on, etc. So the procedure should be let the mayor present the report and thereafter take hands. Thank you.
But we are repeating what I've said already. We are
No,
repeating what I've said.
you are asking for hands when the
No,
report
I
has
never
not
asked
been
hands.
presented.
I never asked hands. Apologies, Mr. Mwangswang. I never asked hands. The report has been distributed. Let me request the city manager to read the notice of convening the special council meeting so that we are in compliance with the rules of order. Thank you, city manager.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings once more. The protocol is observed. I hereby wish to read the notice of special meeting to all members of the eThekwini Council. In terms of Rule 5, subsection 4 of the Rules of Order Bylaw of 2014 as amended, members are hereby notified of the special eThekwini Municipal Council meeting scheduled to discuss and approve the 2023-2024 budget on Wednesday, the 31st of the 5th, 2023, in the Durban Exhibition Center on number 11 Walnut Road. Time to be determined by the Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, City Manager. As I've indicated, councillors, earlier, that we are doing this in line with the statutory provision that a special council be convened to consider the budget. The meeting is convened to address the budget item. I will now request His Worship the Mayor to table the ESCO report. His Worship.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Amakhosi asendlunkulu siyakhuleka kuwo wonke akhona kule ndlu yakho. Sibingelele kusekela Mayor, ukhansela umyeni, uwhip wecouncil yethu, unobhala kaKhongoloso khona nabo bonke abaholi bezepolitiki abakhona phakathi kwethu. O-chairperson bama-committee executive committee, amalungu executive committee, sicela ukuthula umbiko wesibili. Lo mbiko ovela kwi-executive committee. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, His Worship, Councillor Kaunda. I will now request the Mayor to come in the podium to present the budget. His Worship, you are invited to the podium.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Sifisa
There's a hand from Councillor Kuala. Councillor Kuala.
Ngiyacela somlomo usinxusela uMbimbi angasithuki namhlanje ukuthi asifundile kuyazwela.
Yeah, even the mayor, Councillor Kuala, is governed by the rules in terms of the language that he uses. His worship, proceed.
Kodwa mphephethu. Sidla nawe inhloko lapha ehostel. Sibonge kakhulu Somlomo. Sikhuleke kumakhosi asendlunkulu. uDeputy Mayor womkhandlu wakithi eThekwini. Unobhala kaKhongolose, ubaba uNciki na wonke amaholi bezepolitiki abakhona. Whip of our council, Councillor Shange, chairpersons of committees, amalunga esigungu esiphezulu somkhandlu, amakhansela wonke, ucity manager, hola bonke ithimba le-administration, business chambers and captains of industry, chairpersons and CEOs of government entities present, distinguished guests, members of the media, umphakathi waseThekwini ngobuningi bawo usilalele lapho okhona. Ladies and gentlemen, sanibonani, dumelang, molweni, nda, good morning. Last month, Honorable Speaker, we delivered the State of the City Address, SOCA, where we outlined detailed plans to turn around the economic fortunes of this city and accelerate service delivery. Today, we come before you to table the budget policy statement, which will reflect budgetary commitments and a program of action to realize the vision set out in the SOCA to make meaningful change in the lives of people of eThekwini. Despite the constrained global economic outlook, the city's ongoing efforts to address unemployment are beginning to show positive signs. According to the latest quarterly labor force survey released by State South Africa recently, eThekwini has achieved a 9% year-in-year decline in the unemployment rate when they compare the first quarter of 2022 and the first quarter of 2023. This has positioned eThekwini as one of the leading metros in the country in terms of reducing unemployment. We attribute this achievement to the resilience of our communities and the support of the business community. It also reflects the soundness of the measures we put in place in response to COVID-19, July 2021 civil unrest, and 2022 devastating floods. Therefore, we would like to thank all stakeholders who worked with us in developing a pragmatic economic recovery plan which has helped us to navigate these catastrophic events. Tabling the 2023-2024 budget early this year, Minister Enoch Godongwane had this to say. He highlighted 3 pillars through which the country will pursue high economic growth. These are the creation of a stable macroeconomic framework, implementation of growth-enhancing reforms, and the strengthening of capacity of the state to deliver quality public services to the people. As part of enhancing capacity of the state to deliver quality services, we are committed to empower cooperatives and social enterprises with tools to render services in their communities where they are located. This will communities. Honorable Speaker, on the state of our finances as a city, Honorable Councillors, despite the challenges we face as a city which were compounded by the pandemic, looting, and the recent floods, the financial situation of the municipality remains healthy. This is supported by the unqualified audit opinion of the Auditor General, of course, with matters. The municipality achieved a collection rate of 95% in the last financial year and 93% thus far in the current 2022-2023 financial year. This was achieved notwithstanding the current economic climate, which has had a negative impact on collection rates. Days cash on hand was 56 days at the end of 2021-2022 financial year, which amounted to an investment of 5.3 billion rands by the municipality. This is within the National Treasury benchmark of 30 days to 60 days cash on hand. In the current recessionary climate, this is being closely monitored. The key to the sustainability of the municipality is to grow our cash reserves. That's what we need to do. We are happy, Honorable Speaker, that because of the strategy we have put in place, as at the 31st of March 2023 this year, our cash on hand was 80 days, which amounted to 9 billion rand investment. That's where we are still seated as we speak. On accountability and clean governance, the city remains committed to clean governance, and we are continuously working to reduce irregular expenditure. We are working hard in line with the approved irregular expenditure reduction strategy on strengthening and improving the relevant internal controls to prevent further occurrences. The irregular expenditure reduction strategy focuses on the following key interventions to eradicate irregular expenditure. Firstly, automating the contract management and procurement cycle. We are now in the digital space, so we need to reach to that level. Our finance and legal teams will deploy dedicated staff to all units to improve contract management. This will assist us, Honorable Speaker, to deal with the delays in the SCM processes which we are observing as a city, which impact on under expenditure. Procurement planning, which is part of the skills that our employees should be assisted with. Compliance checklist, demand analysis, strengthening of key budget and internal controls, and capacity building for our municipal staff. To ensure that this budget achieves the desired impact, we have put tough measures in place to root out fraud and corruption. At the heart of the measures is ensuring that we take action against those implicated in malfeasance. In this regard, the Financial Misconduct Board and the Integrity and Investigation Unit is working tirelessly to process all investigation and outstanding disciplinary cases. And these cases, Honorable Speaker, we have noticed that we need to ensure that they are processed on time. Water and sanitation. A key challenge that the municipality is facing is the high non-revenue water. The municipality has assembled a team to formulate a plan and implement strategic interventions to reduce the non-revenue water from the current 56.7% to acceptable levels. We always want to clear this so that we all understand when we talk about non-revenue water, what constitutes it. Some of the reasons for water losses include illegal water connections, aging infrastructure, damage to infrastructure due to floods, vandalism of our infrastructure, unread meters. Our remedial actions, some of which are already being implemented, include installation of pressure reducing valves, the PRVs, the reservoir inlet and outlet metering, pipe replacement, meter connection to housing projects, meter connection to community ablution blocks, installation of meters in the informal settlement, investigation of properties with zero consumption, metering historically unmetered housing projects or abypassiwe, replacement of domestic water meters, billing, data cleaning. Uma singakwazi ukwenza lokhu somlomo futhi sizokwenza ngempumelelo kuzosibuyisela irevenue efanele njengomkhandlu waseThekwini. As you are aware that the draft budget was approved at the end of March 2023, we came before you and presented the draft budget. Following this process, an extensive budget hearings were held in various regions. The hearings included stakeholders such as business, community, disability sector, Amakosi, ratepayers association, religious sector, and the community at large. And I want to qualify this, Honorable Speaker, ukuthi le mphakathi besihambela senze ngakho konke okusemandleni ukuthi ngingabe sengathi sihambela imphakathi yabangama-Afrika kuphela, kodwa sikwazi ukufika nako Kloof, sifike nako Wentworth, sifike nako Durban North, sihambele yonke imphakathi ekhona eThekwini. The hearings reached all corners of the municipality and they were covered on community radio stations, and adverts were placed on mainstream print and electronic media. Furthermore, the budget hearings were live streamed on social media, which drew a large of comments from the public on the draft budget. Issues raised at the budget hearings. Here is where communities said, this is who you are as a municipality. Honorable councillors, the following issues were raised during the budget hearings, and we have made every effort to incorporate them into the final budget statements. Firstly, the issue which they raise, unaffordability of tariffs due to tough economic climate. But abantu bakithi amathuba omsebenzi abanawo futhi nalabo besebenza baphelelwe amathuba omsebenzi ngakho ke kufanele mangabe sibeka ama charges singakwabeke bephezulu. But there is poor service delivery. Akekho kongamala stage athi ayikho leyo nkinga. Njengemeya ngime phambi kwenu ikhona leyo nkinga. Ineffective repairs of water leaks and electricity faults, prolonged periods of no water and or electricity. This is where we need to turn around the situation in response to the issues that people are raising. Poor workmanship by contractors, which results in repetitive breakdown of areas repaired. Katilungiswa manje into kusasa sekukhona into ethize esiyonakele kuyona lokusho ukuthi i-monitoring must be strengthened and evaluation of the projects. Sewer spillages which are in the city that people are observing, non-functional call centers. Ungasebenzi kahle kwama call centers ethu nako besebenza kodwa wasebenzi kwi level efane ngabasebenza kuyo. Ingakho kuna le process of integrate lama call centers. Lack of clear plan to eradicate informal settlements okukhombiswa sengathi iyanda izakhiwo ziyanda eThekwini kodwa ukuthi ziqedwe kubonakala sengathi amasethu namacebo ethu awamaningi kakhulu kulokho. Street lights not working. Abantu behlala ebumnyameni bebanjwe inkunzi uma ngabe engakhanyile ama street lights emgwaqweni. Job creation and skills development izinto abantu abakhale ngazo kakhulu ukukhandwa kwamathuba omsebenzi nokudluliselwa kwamakhono. Refuse collection ukuqoqwa kwadoti endaweni imfucuza lapho sihlala khona. Shortage of clinics in some communities and halls and libraries. Kunemphakathi engakabi nazo lezi zinto, these facilities. We want to assure our communities that we have heard them. Assertions that the budget hearings are merely a box-ticking exercise are not true. We take the budget hearings seriously, as this is in line with the Municipal Systems Act of 2000, which calls on us to involve communities in the budget process and engage them in the running of the municipality. Sifuna ukusho lokhu somlomo ukuthi masuke siye emphakathini sisuke singayile kuyodlala ngomphakathi siulalele singezukwenza lutho ngalezo zinto abantu abakhale ngazo. Kwezinye zalezo zinto siyoke sisukile emphakathini bekhale ngalezo zinto sesiqalile ukungenelela ngazo. Sizo amanye ama reports azothula kulomkhandlu azokhombisa lokho ukuthi this is how we are responding to that. Kodwa okunye ukwehliswa kwama tariffs lokho esengena kona okhombisa balalelile abantu kodwa nakuba kunzima ukwenza lama tariffs ehlike kodwa sikwazile ukuthi sifinyelele lapho. Honorable Speaker, as eThekwini Municipality have expressed a concern about National Energy Regulator of South Africa, NERSA, granting an increase of 18.65% to Eskom. Our concern arose from the fact that this increase will directly affect the residents of eThekwini who are already struggling to make ends meet as a result of the harsh economic climate. Because of the Eskom increase, which was beyond our control. Yes, we wrote a letter to query it, we complained about it, but it proceeded. We initially came up with a proposal of 21.91%, which effectively translated to 3% increase to electricity by this municipality. Bazokhumbula-ke abantu bakithi ukuthi safika sathi sonyusa imali kagesi ngo-21.91% ngenxa ukuthi nathi sibhekana nalesimo sika Eskom. Kodwa ngenxa ukuthi abantu bakhulumile, we have noted the complaints by our residents regarding this increase during our budget consultations. Hence today we are tabling a revised figure of 18.49%, which comes from 21.91%, which is aligned to NERSA increase. With regards to water, the key drivers of the tariffs are more challenging, and the proposed 14.9% increase for residential customers and 15.9% for business remains unchanged. Some of the key drivers of the water tariff increase include the following: a 5.5% increase imposed by Umgeni Water. Second, a 3% increase related to construction of essential Upper Umkomazi Dam, which we have been timed that we need to act decisive and act now. repairs and maintenance contributes around 4.3% and security around 1%. Unfortunately, when we deal with issues of water and electricity, we also incur a security cost because our workers, employees, when they go out, they are threatened, some are killed. So that's a reality that we live with. So all those costs combined, they are lending us to where we are. That is why we are appealing siyaxolisa kubantu baseThekwini ukuthi besingathandi kwakhuphula kakhulu amanzi ngo-14.9%, kodwa into edale leyo nto ukuthi nathi sibhekene nengqinamba yokuthi umngeni water awakhe uwakhuphule ngo-5.5%, okusho ukuthi nathi njengomasipala fanele sikwazi ukubhekana nalesi sikweletu sokukhokhela umngeni water. Okwesibili, u-3% kwalokhu i-construction yaleli damu elisha elingakaze libe khona, futhi ongekho omunye umasipala wakha idamu elikhulu njengaleli esisolakha lapha KwaZulu Natal eThekwini elibiza 24 billion rand. Mase kuthi okwesithathu ukulungiswa nokumaintainwa okuyikona ke okucontribute 4.3%. Wafanele sikhipha abasebenzi sibe namathuluzi okusebenza, zonke lezo zinto ziyafaka zididiyela kuyona lenkinga yesabelo sezimali yethu. Ingakho ke kwenye ingxenye e1% sikhipha imali yokugada abasebenzi mabe osebenza endaweni zakithi ngoba babanjwe inkunzi abanye baze bebulawe. The Upper Mkomazi Dam will address the persistent water challenges in the city, as experts have warned us. If we don't invest in this infrastructure now, there will be not enough water for eThekwini in the near future. The near future may be 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. That is the near future. So we had to act and act decisively to protect the generations to come. Sibhekelele izizukulwane nezizukulwane ezayo ngoba njoba singamakhansela nje asikhonela kule ndlu ukuthi sizobhekela wethu ama interest njoba sisekhona silungisela nezizukulwane ezayo. Ladies and gentlemen, as a caring government, we feel the pain that the residents are going through. We are conscious of the tough economic conditions prevailing globally, and our residents have not been spared. Putting this budget together has been a tough balancing act between cost-reflective tariffs and breaking even from a business perspective while ensuring sustainability and uninterrupted service delivery. Ukufaka le budget sihlanganise somlomo kusithatha isikhathi ngoba kusho ukuthi fanele ukwazi ukubheka ukuthi ubalansisa kanjani izinto zakho, idingo ngapha indlela ocollecta ngayo revenue, ngapha ukuthi lezo idingo igcineke emphakathini ihlale zikhona ngaso sonke isikhathi. Ngakho ke kusibeke kule ndawo ukuthi sifike lapha. In addition, we are happy to announce that following several meetings and intense discussions, we tabled the following changes to the proposed tariffs increases, which we hope will offer some cushion to our customers. Sibacabangelile abantu baseThekwini, Honorable Speaker, ngokuthi sehlise lama tariffs. Ake ngene kuma property rates. Property rates tariff increase is reduced. Initially we said 8.9%, we reduced rates to 7.9%. The sanitation tariffs increase is reduced from 11.9% to 10.9% for domestic and from 12.9% to 11.9% for businesses. And refuse tariff increase is reduced from 8% to 6.9%. This is where we have landed, Honorable Speaker. Sithe abantu bakithi asibazwele. Kodwa konke lokhu somlomo ukwehlisa lama tariffs kwenze ukuthi ku-affect ibudget yethu. Nizokhumbula ukuthi draft budget yayithi 66 billion rands. Njengamanje ngizopresenta phambi kwenu ibudget njengomeya ka-65.5 billion rand. Yehlike ngo-500 million, which is half a billion, because of the reasoning that we have put in place ukuthi we need to care for our citizens. Kodwa siphinde sehlisa nale khalwe ngayo kakhulu osomabhizinisi nemphakathi wakithi lethu ama vacant land rates. Ebeshaya phezulu lawo ma vacant land rates, kodwa siwareducile ngo-30%. Sithe umhlaba ongasetshenzisiwe aswehlise ngo-30%, lokho which equates to 300 million rands on the proposed budget. On social relief package, to demonstrate that we are a caring government that is biased towards the poor, the municipality has developed a comprehensive social relief package for vulnerable groups. Over 866,000 households will benefit from the initiative in the next financial year at a cost of 47 billion rands. The relief package includes the following. On property rates, residential properties valued up to 350,000 will be exempted from paying rates. For all other properties valued above 350,000, no rates will be charged on the first 120,000 rand. Ngazi noma izwakala kahle le. Kodwa sisho ukuthi somlomo sizokushintsha lokhu ukuthi sishintshe kusukela ku 250,000 besithi ama properties agcine ku 250,000 sawanyusa sathi kube u 350,000 lawo ma properties ekuzofanele engakwazi ukuthi akhokhiswe ama rates ngenxa lezo izathu esizithola kulawo ma family lawo. Kodwa futhi uma kukhona abanezindlu engaphezulu kwa 350,000 kodwa isithi ama rates esoqala sibashaje kona so wayeka ka 120,000 sosukela lapho above ngaphezulu kwalokho. A further allowance will be afforded on application to all residential property owners with a total household income of 4,220 and less, and with a property value of more than 350,000 and up to 650,000. So sizokwazi ukuthi siwabonelele lawo ma properties anjalo. Properties owned by pensioners, child-headed families, households, disability grantees, and the medically boarded communities are exempted from paying rates when their annual rates do not exceed, their annual rates rebates do not exceed 5,290. A maximum limit of 2.5 million applies on the value of properties in respect of pensioners' rebate. Okusho ukuthi noma ngathiwa umuntu oyipensioner indlu yakhe iyafika izifike ku 2.5 million naye uzokwazi ukubhekelelwa as long as a pensioner. All other properties will be liable for rates less the rebate. No rates levied on the first 30,000 value of vacant land and outside the urban development line. On water, Honorable Speaker, the first 6 kiloliters of water is free to a household with property values under 250,000 rand. Electricity, the first 50 kilowatts of electricity is free to residents using less than 150 kilowatts per month in ESCOM reticulated areas. Lauma areas are service of ESCOM. The first 65 kilowatts of electricity is free to residents using less than 150 kilowatts per month in eThekwini reticulated areas kulawo aserviswa yithi njengedolobha laseThekwini. Refuse removal. Residential property valued up to 250,000 are exempted from domestic refuse removal tariffs. In addition, a free basic refuse removal service is also available to indigent customers units living in rural informal settlements and non-campsite residents. On sanitation, the first 6 kiloliters of effluent disposal is exempted for all properties with value of under 250,000 rand. In addition, a free basic service is also available to indigent consumer units with ventilated improved pit latrines, the VIPs urine diversion toilets, and in informal settlements serviced by means of toilet ablution block within 200 meters radius. In the current financial year, the municipality allocated 130 million rands for the alternative sanitation technology, and in 2023-2024 financial year, we have set aside 50 million rand ukufaka amatholethe ashaywayo kuzona lezi indawo ezisemakhaya naseyindaweni ezingama informal settlements. This is certainly a people's budget in the true sense of the word. The people have spoken and you have listened. Honorable Speaker, one of the core mandates of local government is to deliver quality service, basic services, such as water and electricity. For us to build a modern and industrialized economy, we must have a dependable and reliable electricity supply. This is also critical if we are to expand our revenue base and create employment opportunities for over 600,000 unemployed in the city. I must qualify this. We fully support Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry, where they've written a letter, a submission, Honorable Speaker, to the Minister of the State-Owned Enterprises to say that the exemption we had as a city, ngoba sasishawe zikhukhula, azikashiyi ikhukhula namanje, sengathi that exemption ingaqhubeka singafakwa kwi-load shedding efana nabo bonke abantu ngoba ileli dolobha kuphela eladicileleka phansi ngendlela ekwenzeka ngayo ngeyikhukhula ka-2022. To ensure a more reliable electricity supply, the municipality has allocated a capital budget of 2.2 billion rands for electricity over the next 3 years. The bulk of this funding will be spent on ongoing extensions and reinforcements of existing network, as well as 17 new substations that will be commissioned. We are also undertaking a street lighting project where all street lights that are not working will be repaired. Teams from electricity department will be deployed to tackle various regions. There will be teams deployed in various regions to ensure that we respond to that call by members of the public. Kuzokhanya eThekwini. Sathi ke akufuneki kukhanye ngoba kade kunomcimbi omkhulu icoronation kwakhanya kamnandi leso sikhathi so ke sifaka imali ke manje ukuthi akukhanye kanjalo njengoba kukhanya siye ku-coronation kukhanye ukuthi ba eThekwini kudlula umeya omnyama. As we are still recovering from the adverse effects of April 2022 floods, we have been exempted from load shedding areas. We have exempted from load shedding areas that are covered by Marian Ridge and Isipingo substations as they were severely damaged by the floods. You'll see that in our schedules that those areas are exempted. But there are other areas which are exempted, which I do not want to open a can of worm. But we are responsive to the plight of industries to produce and protect the jobs of our people in eThekwini. In addition, we are looking into renewable sources of energy to supplement our energy supply. Recently, we hosted the Energy Transition Summit, where detailed plans were unveiled, including procurement of 400 megawatts solar and gas energy. We have already gone out on request for proposal for alternative sources of energy to increase our energy supply as eThekwini. On water and sanitation, reliable water supply and water security are also key issues to our communities. Water is life. Water is life. Sanitation is dignity. The combined water and sanitation capital budgets over the next 3 years is 5 billion rands. Water has a capital budget of 1 billion rands in 2023-2024. One of the priority projects is the repair of the Southern Aqueduct project to alleviate water challenges in Umlazi, KwaMakuta, following Ntsimbini and surrounding areas. The municipality will also upgrade the supervisory control and data acquisition, the SCADA system. This technology assists us to monitor water reservoirs levels and functionality of pump stations to prevent sewer spillages as well as water overflows. This budget will also be utilized to implement Ogunjini Water Works, Mkizwane Water Works, Adams Water Reservoirs, and Zwelibomvu Water Main Inlet Phase 2, Shongweni Reservoir. Some of these has been completed and will improve water supply in Gonyameni area. To address water challenges in Ward 1, Kwaklimba, we'll be installing a booster pump station. In Ward 3 in Umzinyati, we have completed 2 projects by installing a pipeline pump station and a trunk main. So the piping, the upsizing of pipes is also on the way. All these interventions will improve water supply in the areas which we have really identified as the hotspot when it comes to challenges of water. Over the MTREF, 2.1 billion will be spent on the replacement of water pipes and other water loss interventions, which contributes to non-revenue water. Honorable Councillors, it remains our priority to ensure that people are treated with dignity and receive decent services from their municipality. We want to appeal to ratepayers who have listened from the issues they've raised with us. They are genuine. We agree with ratepayers. Hence, we are going to be responding to such issues. And this budget is actually a direct response to those issues. Accordingly, sanitation has a capital budget of 1.2 billion rands to be spent on the upgrading of various wastewater treatment works, alternative sanitation technology, and to upgrade the Mahatma Gandhi Road sewer pump station. Over the MTREF, 2.9 billion rand will be spent on the expansion and upgrade of the following wastewater treatment works: Umhlanga Wastewater Treatment Works, Hammersdale, Hillcrest, Kwandengezi, Dazenhoek, Umbilo, Northern Wastewater Treatment Works, Phoenix, Utongati, Central, Umdloti, Southern Wastewater Treatment Works, Isipingo, Amanzi Mtoti, Kingsburg, Kingsborough, Verulam, and Guamash Wastewater Treatment Works. On waste management, Honorable Speaker, while we are beginning to see improvements in the level of cleanliness in our city, we plead with our communities to work with us, but not to by not disposing litter in undesignated places, including business. Furthermore, we want to warn those who continue to pollute our environment by creating illegal dump sites that the city will deal with them harshly. On our part, we are reviewing operations at cleansing and solid waste to improve refuse collection and to develop long-term strategies that will enhance the cleanliness of the city. I would like to ask the councillors to join me in thanking those workers from solid and waste and cleansing department who are doing a sterling work. Please join me to give them a big round of applause. To this end, the municipality will be allocating 362 million in the next financial year to procure a new waste collection fleet and a heavy plant for landfill sites. Furthermore, this budget will be utilized to procure new infrastructure for waste disposal at Buffels Dry landfill and laying down of bulk infrastructure for Shongweni landfill site. Some of this equipment will be procured now before the end of June, as the reports will be telling us today. The municipality will also rehabilitate transfer stations and upgrade the new German and Ottawa depots. The bulk of our budget will be invested in the new fleet and landfill sites to ensure that waste collection and disposal is safe and reliable. On housing, ladies and gentlemen, rapid urbanization has led to an increase in the number of informal settlements in the city, which contributes to the rising housing backlog. Currently, the municipality has close to 600 informal settlements that we are providing with services such as water, electricity, waste removal, pathways, and many other services. Human settlement has a capital budget of 953 million rands in 2023-2024, which will be job structure. Sibone ukuthi giya lishintshe ngoba abantu abaningi abanye badinga ngempela size sibakhele izindlu. Badinga ukuthi sibanikeze ama site a service wabe namanzi abe nogesi izothukwehliya kancane isibalo se backlog ngoba abantu bayakwazi ukuafforda abanye. Abanye ngempela bagcina sebezoyifuna izindlu ngoba bazi ukuthi ba entitled for ukuthola izindlu. Transit camps, Honorable Speaker, our program to eradicate transit camp is ongoing, and we are pleased to report that by the end of next month, June, we'll be closing down the Isipingo transit camp, as 360 families who are currently accommodated in this camp will be relocating to the newly built, beautiful Kanko Road housing project. Ofuna ukwazi ukuthi lo hulumeni wakha into enjani mayithuthukisa abantu abe khona kulomcimbi wokuthi siyodlulisela lezindlu kubantu bakithi ayizindlu. Public transport. Honorable councillors, in the stage of the city address, we committed to continue to provide affordable, safe, reliable public transport system. It is only through an integrated and transformed public transport that we can become a world-class city. We also know that efficient public transport is central to improving the quality of life of our people, as it makes it easy for them to access social amenities like schools, hospitals, and places of work. Therefore, in the next financial year, the municipality will allocate 805 million rand for public transport infrastructure and road safety. Other projects that will be funded through this budget include Go Durban, integrated rapid public transport network. I won't dwell so much to this because there is a report in this regard that the ESCO is bringing before the council. Traffic calming devices, Bridge City, a bus terminal, taxi ranks, resurfacing, and a new transport management system. Over the MTREF, 2.3 billion rand will be spent on transport. On road infrastructure, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Councillors, during these budget consultations, our residents complained about state of our road infrastructure. In some areas, it's terrible. It's in poor conditions. In the next financial year, the municipality has allocated 249 million for various road rehabilitation and upgrades from gravel to tar road in rural areas. Imigwaqo iyashintsha futhi izoshintsha lapha eThekwini ukuthi imigwaqo yethu nama-reporters ayo namhlanje fanele siwa-approve athi alifakwe itiyela. Yonke imigwaqo ayiyeke ukuthi ifane no-city manager ikhanye. Kungcono ifane no-mayor ukuze ibe sesimweni esihle sokusebenza. Over the MTRF, 2.4 billion will be spent on repairing and upgrading our road networks. In addition, we are going to use block sums of 3 million per ward to supplement this budget and build new access road infrastructure, sidewalks and pathways in disadvantaged wards. We have allocated, councillors, 3 million rand to 84 wards that are disadvantaged, and 1 million rand has been allocated to other wards. Economic development, Honorable Speaker, eThekwini municipality remains one of the biggest contributors to the national economy. By the way, we are the second biggest economy in the country after Johannesburg. During the 2023-2026 MTREF period, the city has set aside a total amount of 805 million prioritized towards the implementation of the following key catalytic projects to drive the socio-economic agenda of the municipality and ensure that decent jobs, work opportunities, skills transfer and skills development receive much attention. Shongweni Development, which recently was visited by the Deputy President of the country, who applauded us as a city for that development, he also committed that at least we must get additional 2 billion to deal with the infrastructure in that development. Oceans Umhlanga Development, for the completion of the public transport facility for the north, the city has allocated a budget of 60 million rand towards the public transport facility. Avoca Nodal Development, which consists of 3 precincts ideally located along the N2 corridor at the cost of 10 billion rands, namely the Brickworks, Northfields Industrial Development, and the Cane Ridge Residential Development. The municipality will be funding some of the bulk infrastructure, including roads, in that development. Already we have received more than 250 million to do the road in the Brickworks development. Durban Film City, which is a 7.5 billion investment project. Giba Business Park, which is a new 2 billion catalytic project anticipated to be completed in 2024. 18 billion Cato Ridge Freight and Logistic Development. 22.5 billion Keystone Logistic Park on the Henry Hammersdale interchange. I know, Honorable Speaker, ukuthi ngizoshawa ukuthi indaba ngisho lawa enzakalayo manje nalawa azokwenzakala ngingawashwa amanye asemuvile out of the city ngiyobe sengiphendula mase kufike leso sikhathi. Employment opportunities. To reduce unemployment in the municipality, especially among the youth, we plan to create 20,000 job opportunities, including EPWP. Furthermore, over 6,000 jobs will be created through the Presidential Employment Stimulus Program, employment of caretakers at communal ablution facilities, and plumbers who will be used on a rotational basis for water repairs. We are coming with another detailed report in this regard. Driver training program for the youth. Honorable Speaker, young people continue to swell the ranks of the unemployed. Our struggle icon and former ANC President, President Oliver Tambo, Reginald Tambo, once said, and I quote, "A country that does not take care of its youth does not deserve its future." I close quote. Because we recognize the importance of building a bright and prosperous future for our city, we want to leverage on the competitive advantages our country has of a large youth population. In heeding Oliver Tambo's call, the municipality will be investing 1 million rand in the next financial year to equip young people with driving skills. Siyazi bazothi abantu hawu into encane kabi kodwa bakhona abantu abaqeda umatric beqede begraduate bengenawo ama driver's license. Siyaqala ke leyo program njengamanje. 142 young people from high schools, tertiary institutions, and out of school will benefit from this program. We are confident that this initiative will help many young people from poor households who will have otherwise not be able to obtain driver's license while they are still studying. We just omitted one thing, Honorable Speaker, here, which is important. For the entry-level jobs in the municipality, we have scratched the requirement of experience. For the entry-level jobs, we have scratched the requirement of experience. How do you expect someone to have experience and you have never exposed that person to that experience you are requiring? Hayi zishintshile izinto kunjalo nje. Okunye ke ilokhu kwabafowethu somlomo abangaphezulu kweminyaka ewu35 nakhona sijiki simile sithi usunga over 35 asingancisha amathuba omsebenzi asingancisha amathuba okuparticipate kwi-service delivery ngoba wena oyi-breadwinner ekhaya. So therefore it's important sikunikeze lawo mathuba. Sports, arts and culture plays an important role in defining who we are as a nation. It is also a catalyst for unity and cohesion in our communities. For this reason, the municipality will allocate 1 billion rands over the MTREF to build and upgrade community facilities like sports field, everything that is related to the sport. Recently, Honorable Somlomo besibambe la ngaphesheya the World Table Tennis Championship ebe impumelelo bekunama countries awu 44 abeza every day for 9 days la e-ICC ihambe ngenkulu impumelelo leyo mdlalo iCTH ehostile niushayele ihlombe lo mdlalo ngoba ubalekile there is an economic spin-off out of that, so we have generated revenue. eThekwini is known for producing superstars in sports and arts and culture who have gone on to represent the country at global stage. Therefore, our investment in this sector is informed by the desire to keep it alive and allow young people and upcoming athletes and artists to realize their dreams, to create an environment where young people can participate in various sporting and cultural activities. The municipality has prioritized the building of the following sport facilities in the next financial year. Rotary Stadium upgrade, Jabulum Pepet, Siripet Ground, Abraham Sport Facility, JL Dube, Sport Field, Eastbury Top and Bottom, shooting ngaphansi nangaphezulu. Funding has also been allocated to rehabilitate following swimming pools: Laguna Pool in North Beach, South Beach Pool, Westbrook Beach, Newlands Pool, Umlazi, BB Pool, Inanda Swimming Pool, which has not been completed, which is incomplete, Children Amusement Center Pool, le ekhalwa ngakakhulu elapha eBeachfront eSouth Beach. Fighting crime. eThekwini municipality contributes significantly to the crime statistics of both the province and the country because we are one of the largest economic regions in the country. To increase police visibility for crime prevention and enforcement by bylaws, the municipality will be allocating 129.5 million rand for the recruitment of 400 additional police officers, metro officers in eThekwini. To reach the target of 5,000 members, the municipality will continue to recruit 400 metropolis officers every year. Upresident njengoba desivakashele nje lapha eThekwini uthe hayi nishaya into ephansi kakhulu manikhuluma ngo400. Fanele kuthiwa recruiter 1000 njengethe ngoba nemetro enkulu kanti nobugebengu buphezulu. Siyayixoxa ke leyo sophinde siyocela nenkinobho engenambobo. On budget, Honorable Speaker, it is with great honor that we present to you today the final 2023-2024 budget. The total budget for 2023-2024 is now 65.5 billion rands, coming from 66 billion rands, made up of an operating budget of 57.4 billion rands and a capital budget of 8.1 billion rands. National Treasury's assessment of the budget, awumanu approve budget nje assesswa. The National Treasury's benchmarking engagement took place on the 22nd of May. The budget was assessed for its credibility, relevance, and sustainability. National Treasury has concluded that the budget is credible, relevant, and sustainable. Akusho thina, kusho National Treasury. Another key observation was that the total capital expenditure increased by 33.2% due to massive investment in key infrastructure that will accelerate the delivery of basic services and stimulate economic growth in the local economy. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, we believe that this is a balanced budget, which is the budget, the people's budget, that will respond to the socio-economic needs of the people of eThekwini. It will also help to ensure the sustainability and viability of the municipality during these tough times. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the Executive Committee, the chairpersons of portfolio committees and all councillors and the entire Portcal leadership for their input in this budget. We also wish to thank communities for the inputs they've made, which we have responded to. Our gratitude also goes to the city manager in balancing this budget, which were under trying circumstances. We would also like to thank the African National Congress and all the political parties we work with for continuing to entrust us with this responsibility. Indeed, this is the people's budget which responds to the needs and aspirations of our people. It is on this positive note that we table today the 2023-2024 medium-term revenue and expenditure framework for final approval. I thank you. Ngiyabonga Somlo.
Thank you very much, His Worship. Thank you very much, His Worship. Councillors, what is going to happen now? You remember that earlier I announced that I will take hands, but I've now changed my mind. What will happen now, we're going to take a break so that we go for lunch, but in the hour I'm giving you for lunch, half of that hour is for lunch, half of that hour is for caucuses of parties for this item. When we are back from those two things we have to do, we are back for taking hands and debate this item. Let's break for lunch and caucuses. Thank you. To our councillors, I'm told that let's start with caucuses, then later lunch, because they are still preparing. Thank you.